Good evening, everybody. And thank you for joining me for another awesome Wednesday with me, Taryn, your host of Paranormal Brew. And this evening, I have the cast or the members of Stay Haunted podcast with me, joining me. Awesome people. I've seen them over the years at a lot of the paranormal events. And they're good people. I mean, when I last saw them, we talked briefly. We exchanged, yeah, come on my podcast, we'll come on your podcast. So I'm happy that we were able to get a date together. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. I have Chris and Audra, and I have Tom and Carmella, which I love that name because I'm a Sopranos fan, and Carmella, as we all know, Carmella Soprano. She was so I love that name, Carmella. But I'm gonna bring them on and let them introduce themselves and get the background, how we always do here on the brew. I see people are checking in already, and I want to say hello to my lovely Yvette, hello, and Destination Spooky, hello, how are you doing? Kristen, hi babe. Oh, and look, Todd and Carmella. Let me bring these wonderful people in. Hold on a second here. Let's go. Hey.
Hello. And we know you.
How are you?
You.
Thank you so much for joining me this evening. First of all, love the Stay Haunted. I love the logo. I love it all. I think it's great. I love the naming of your podcast. I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna start out by saying that I love the name of it.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah. I think it's great. I love the basis of it. I watched an episode and it was really, really good. I'm happy to have you guys on, and I want to help you promote the podcast. So anybody that's watching, please not only share the show out for Stay Haunted, but go to their page, like their page. Like, are you guys on YouTube too?
Yes.
Okay, YouTube, wherever we'll get to all that where they're at. But that's usually the end of my show. But I wanted to say that,
flip things around a little bit.
We can work it.
I did. So, Audra, Chris, let's start with you guys. Just give us a little background, where you guys are from, how you guys got together, what you've done in the paranormal field leading up to Stay Haunted.
How long was the show again?
Grab your sleeping bags, a bottle of wine.
I got water.
You can go first.
I'll try and summarize this as fast as possible.
As fast as possible.
So I got into the paranormal when I was a child. I've been having experiences. I've been sensitive since I was a child. Seeing, hearing, actually voices, actually apparitions, feeling the energy. So fast forward, Audra and I started dating 14 years ago?
2011,
14 years ago. And we were sitting on our couch one night and we were watching paranormal shows. Well, we start talking about the paranormal, and Audra starts telling me about visions and dreams that she's had throughout her entire life that were kind of dark, but she knew it wasn't it wasn't just normal dreams. It was actual,
Well,
what
yeah,
would you call it?
I have no idea. I just know the dreams that I had as a kid was always pertaining to, fighting something not nice. I was always protecting children. I was always protecting children's souls. It always revolved around
That's
children
interesting.
from the
That's interesting.
time I was a kid. So I tell him about my dreams, and I'm like, "You're gonna think I'm totally crazy," and he's like, "Guess what? You're not." So we would kind of share stories back and forth, and then
And then what she didn't know is I'm 50, almost 53 now. I had been investigating since I was like I had been chasing ghosts or spirits or energies since I was a kid, but I actually started buying equipment in my early 20s and had been investigating the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So what she didn't know is what we were watching is stuff that I actually did.
Right.
So one night we're sitting there and I went, "Do you want to do an investigation?" She goes, "A real one?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
"Oh, real?"
And she's like, "Sure, but who do we call?" And I went, "Me." And, I took her on an investigation and she's been hooked ever since. And we've been investigating together since then. So
Do you remember where you went?
we went to a place called Lost Souls Cemetery
in Arizona.
in Arizona. We lived in
Uh-huh.
Surprise, Arizona, just outside of Phoenix. And Lost Souls Cemetery is where the state buries the Jane Does, the John Does, people that can't afford stuff.
So Pottersfield.
Burial,
Inmates, yeah.
inmates, stuff like that. And it is one of the most haunted cemeteries in Arizona. And
Okay.
of course, she was hooked because the first time I took her, it was nonstop activity all night.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. How did you go from Arizona to Ohio?
Via
Well,
North Carolina.
Via North Carolina. There's a stop there. I'm actually originally from Ohio. I grew up here. Left home around just under 20 years old, out to Arizona. So there about 30 years. And then when he and I got together, life happens, careers start, changing.
Yep.
My doctors that I had worked for 22 years were getting ready to retire. His company was having kind of a really big
reorganization.
Change. And we're like, if we're going to have to start over, let's start over somewhere else. So we
moved to just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yep.
Okay.
Which was actually good for us because all the paranormal stuff that happens on the East Coast, not a ton on the West.
On the West Coast.
I mean,
Arizona's pretty big with paranormal
Arizona,
but they're spread out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of locations, but they're very spread out. So you're looking at minimum of 2-hour travel time to do an investigation anywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Where here, when we moved to North Carolina, we found an 1830s plantation home that was owned by the Montgomery County Historical Society. And we went to them and went, "Hey, will you let us investigate it?" And they did. So then we showed them everything that we had captured. And what was even better is Audra and I sensed a little servant boy in the plantation home, and she saw him. And then I'm like, "His name is Joseph. He's 5 years old." Well, we told that to the Historical Society, and they went back into the census and actually found a servant boy, 5 years old, named Joseph on the 1870 census.
Yeah, on the registered.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it confirmed what we were picking up. The minute they caught that, they were sold.
Yeah.
They gave us a key, and we started hosting paranormal investigators at the Montgomery House in North Carolina. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So we
Wait, you guys are in Ohio now, right? Or you're in North Carolina?
So
okay,
we just had the opportunity. Thankfully, with his job, he's done really well. So I guess that was a big plus to moving to North Carolina. Really,
I can work from anywhere because I travel and I work from home. So
with most of my family still here, my parents getting up there, I just wanted to come home, and he was actually pushing it more than I was.
Yeah, said you need to be near your family.
You need to be your family. So
that's awesome.
So
Ohio, after I've lived there, at the time I wasn't in the paranormal, but now even the town I lived in, there's locations popping up.
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't know that at the time, but Ohio seems to have, are you guys familiar with Paravisions?
No.
Paravisions. so they're out in Ohio too. Really
Oh,
good
okay.
group. Yeah, really good group to
We'll have to look them up. Yeah.
Lee Allen and Patty Morton. They're I'll send you guys a link.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
Okay.
Yeah, we literally have. I counted 12 different locations within a 15-minute drive.
Yeah, they're a great group. They're great.
Yeah.
They're great people. Really good people to hang and bump around in the night with. Wait,
That's
that's weird.
We don't know them yet.
Yeah.
Not well enough yet.
So. Not yet.
All right.
That in a nutshell is how we got to Ohio and how we got into the paranormal. I mean, we could go on and on and on and on and on, but there's two other people here too.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, we're listening.
We're good. We're listening. We enjoy
And
listening.
you guys have been doing investigations in Ohio and stuff like that, like at locations.
We just did one
you
last
just
week
got
with
there.
Ron and Lourdes came by to visit.
Yep.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So
awesome.
we just did an investigation at Totogany Cemetery, which is the most haunted cemetery in northwestern Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And we did an investigation with them last week and the week
2
before.
weeks ago. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
All right. So we'll get back to all that.
Oh, no worries.
Carmella, calm.
So to let you know, you're the only one that has said it right several times. Camellia, I got the other day. Carmen.
So you're right at the top of the A list.
Yay!
Get off. Right from the giddy up.
It just doesn't roll off your tongue, right? I guess. I don't know.
And one thing, who are you? I don't even know who you are. No, I'm just kidding.
Ooh.
Hey,
No,
I'm
but kidding.
gonna give a shout out just so you guys know. Ajing, we're being watched in Indonesia. So I'm gonna okay, and we
Thanks
have
for joining.
Big Ben, who Urban Explorations, he's in Australia. So
Oh,
See,
okay.
that, I was going to say Big
I
Ben.
was gonna say London.
London,
Yeah.
but that's a little.
Australia.
All right.
yeah, so I just want to let you guys know, no pressure. We're being internationally watched.
All right. Thanks.
I would have got dressed up if I would have known that.
No pressure at all. We'll make ourselves look stupid in front of the whole world.
My bow tie.
I know.
So Carm, is it okay I call you Carm? Because I love that because like I said, I don't know if you're listening, but Sopranos, I'm a huge fan of Carmella. Like I'm like
That was my family too, by the way.
oh
But not North Jersey. We were more South Jersey.
Philly.
Yeah,
The
We were
Philly.
in the Philly clan.
The Philly.
oh there. Well they were a little bit more ruthless, those
Yeah.
those Philly boys.
Mhm.
So tell us a little bit about you two. How did you guys get into the paranormal and all that good stuff?
Okay. All right. So, like I
Since you
said,
don't know me.
I don't
How
know
about you
her. That's
tell
why I
me a
was.
little bit about
That was
myself?
a leeway in because we've been together since high school. So we're high school sweethearts.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh,
I love
Just
it.
yesterday, as she like Carmella, like Carm likes to say.
Carm is funny.
I never call her
No,
Carm.
you don't call me Carmella either.
I say hi, Car.
Carm.
I call her Car. That's
Car.
what
Yes, all those different names.
Tammy
I
Ray.
so we've been together since high school sweethearts. We met my
They did see us.
Chichi. Yeah, hey, how are
This
you?
Afternoon.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we I lost my train of thought.
We were high school sweethearts.
High school. Yep.
High school sweethearts. We basically
Forever, I've had some sort of sense, but my mom would always
Yeah.
say, "Don't talk about it, don't say it." But my grandmother would see things, my aunt would see things, but we weren't really allowed to talk about it. So
and
he always
we
thought I was weird.
we've been together 29 years this October will be we've been married 29 years in October, 35 years together since high school. And I've always kind of looked at her like she's got a little, maybe like one or two more heads than what I would think because of I just, woo, you're right, Chris. I always thought that. But
He stayed the whole time.
I
though.
stayed the whole
So that was
time
interesting.
because she was very interesting. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, I think it's interesting because you weren't into the paranormal. She would just have experiences, which
Right.
Right.
like with your your aunt,
My
And-
aunt and
and
my
your
grandmother.
right? Both of them.
Mhm.
Why was your mom so
Anti.
anti?
Yeah.
I think because my grandmother didn't want to talk about it. My
Okay.
grandmother didn't want to talk about it. Then she freaked my aunt out, and then there was me. So it's my grandmother was Lucy Carmella, my aunt is Carmella, and then there's me, Carmella.
love it.
So I think it just freaked them all out. Like my grandmother saw like a witch above my mom in the when she was in the
bassinet.
Your
Yeah.
mom never admitted to
I,
having
I don't know. I don't if she does, she never said it.
right.
But my grandmother saw that. So that's how it all started. It freaked them out and they would never talk about it.
So another little tidbit. We're 12 hours apart. Same year. We just had our birthdays back in August.
How cute.
I'm the older one.
He is. No, I'm the older one. I went along with
By
that for a
12
second.
hours. Yeah, I tried to make her feel.
Take it and run.
You look younger. I look older.
What was the turning point for you?
For
Todd?
me,
Yeah,
so
what happened to me?
yesterday, I just decided to investigate now.
Yes.
So the whole time that we were, we dated through high school, and then we got married at 23.
Keep going.
Started doing. We used to do paranormal ghost history tours. So we would go to New Hope, we would go to Philly, we would go to Lambertville. We would do all the ghost history walking tours together with family and friends, and then on vacations when we go to where we would travel. We just never did formal investigations like we have over the past 3 years. And we've always had the curiosity. And then 3 years ago, down the street, our paths have crossed. I mean, we met you when we were 3 years ago in the very beginning, and at the we met at the Atlantic County Courthouse, and then I don't think we met at the old Columbus Inn, but the old Columbus Inn is 2 seconds down.
You weren't there.
You were, but I wasn't there. We were just coming into learning about investigating and stuff like that formally.
Right.
And but that's 2 seconds down the street for us.
The courthouse was cool.
Yeah, that was. And we had a lot. I know you had a lot of good EVPs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ran.
Yeah, Carmella ran. When they say don't run, Carmella ran.
I went flying down 3 flights of steps, out the door, and continued to run.
Don't run.
Where are you going? I'm like, not here.
I don't know where, but I'm not hanging around here.
The woman I was with, she screamed, "He has a knife. He's behind you." So I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm not looking. I'm good. I don't know where I am. Let me go. I'm running. I'm in a courthouse."
The courthouse had some interesting history to it. I mean, wasn't there somebody murdered in the courthouse?
Yeah, there was. In the courtroom number 1 or 2 or whatever. Yeah. So that's how our paths crossed. In the journey, you were. We met you early in our journey in the paranormal, actually formal investigation, and we're glad that we've stayed connected and have gotten to know you even better over the past few years and stuff. And so I mean, we're fortunate. We're like we're fortunate because we're very close. White Hill. Everything's close to us, like you, Taryn. I mean, Chris and Roger, I'm happy. We're happy. We're ecstatic for them now that they have 12 to 13 places that are very, very close to them. Whereas we went down and through our mutual friends, how our paths crossed was through Ron and Lourdes and being on the previous podcast.
Yeah, you were on the podcast.
Stuff.
So wait, Todd, did you have an experience though that you were like, okay?
I'm like a brick.
Not until recently.
Okay.
Not until recently.
Like
no,
I was going to talk about when you heard the scream in.
So yeah,
that was the first experience you had, really.
I would say. Well, I'm trying to think. Tala or Burlington County Prison.
Oh, they were saying my name.
Burlington County Prison was probably my first.
You didn't hear any of that. You just heard that on the replay. I kept saying they were screaming my name.
Yeah. But no, I'm saying the first time we went to, so the first time I ever had a shit moment, like, did I just really hear that, was Burlington County Prison. Like, we were at the end of the bathroom on the second or third floor, whatever it was. Taryn, you've been there. I know you have.
Oh yeah, I love it there.
And where it was at the end, we're sitting down just listening, and I had my experience. We heard like a coughing or something, or a growl or some shit like that at us. And we thought it was,
in the back.
We were all the way down the end of the hallway.
Back.
Yeah,
that was my first experience of actually hearing something and stuff. So before that, I really never had, experiences as, what Carmella had and stuff like that.
It comes and goes with you.
Yeah. But
I think it's cool. I think it's cool that you were doing it with her, even though you weren't like, you didn't believe in it, or you didn't it wasn't your thing. I think it's really cool that you were still, doing it together.
We were doing this because our kids are older. our kids are in their 20s and we're like, what are we going to do all day? Just sit down and just stare at each other? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
what are we going to talk about? What are we going to do? And then we met everybody. We're like, all right, let's do this.
Yep.
And it's the same thing with you two, right? Except just flip flop. I mean, with Audra and Chris was into it, and Audra was like, no, I have had these like weird dreams, which I've had a dream like that. I've only had one, and it was protecting a family, which is weird that you say that. I'll tell you about that later. But so I totally don't think you're crazy for having dreams like you said you were having, because I had one. I was like, oh, that was too close for me.
But yeah, so we got together, and then through our mutual friends, and then we met Chris and Audra and become really good friends with them. Went down to North Carolina and visited the Montgomery house 2 times, which made me start to believe. Was it our first? It's not the second time. Second time that she wasn't.
Oh, the picture.
Because we're on the second floor, and just to validate what Chris and Audra said about that location, the Montgomery house, we're in the upstairs. One of the validations was we were in the upstairs floor outside. I'm standing outside Miss Montgomery's bedroom. Carmella's like, don't move. There's somebody behind you, to me. And I'm like, what the F are you talking about? And I'm I moved out of the way. So now she takes pictures, and there's a picture. Chris would played around with it on the iPhone because, I'm Android. So that's like, I didn't know how to do stuff.
He doesn't know how to work phones.
Contrasted stuff, and we got what we believe when you compare it to an actual photo that's downstairs in the Montgomery house of Mrs. Montgomery. It's a freaking spot on
image of her. Yep.
spit image of her.
Wow, that's awesome.
And then we also had the EVP Audra of Joseph during that may have been during the first time we were down.
That was the first time. Yep.
The first time when we were I was asking about servants or something along those lines, and we got Jacob and Joseph.
Yep.
Right. And then we had Chris and I had a cool experience, and even Audra and Carmella had with Sarah, right? The little girl that's at the Montgomery house. So
That's
we've
awesome.
had some great experiences with Chris and Audra as far as investigating together.
So then he started to believe that I wasn't crazy.
Then I started to believe I wasn't.
He still thought he was crazy, but not as crazy as I was.
So Carm, so Chris and Carm, you kind of both have like the same. You guys have the same abilities where you can see and hear, and
He's fine-tuned. I don't know. My head's like scatterbrained. I don't know what it is, but I hear it, I see it, I look. I don't believe in myself.
and then Todd and Audra, you guys kind of like. I would imagine that Chris and Carm are more of a conduit for you two. You know what I mean? Like,
She has her own abilities
I
too.
was going to say, Chris, I'm the only one. Those 3, Chris, right? So Audra,
sorry
Chris, and Carmella have abilities. Me, I'm the brick to a certain degree.
You're changing.
Yeah, so I imagine like if the more you do it and the more you're around it, the more it's like working a muscle, right? The more,
Yep.
So you guys become friends, and then you say, hey, like, how did Stay Haunted?
Well,
Chris,
just interesting enough, everybody knows Ron and Lourdes.
Right.
Yes.
And then, so Audra and I, Taryn, you were a guest on it. Todd and Carmella were guests on it. Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. We had that show for 5.5 years with Ron and Lourdes and Tony and Sheree Rathman. That's where we first met Taryn. Taryn was a guest, and Ron had met Todd and Carmella at an investigation and invited them on the show. And that's how we got to know them. Well, after 5.5 years, Entity Voices came to an end.
Right.
Well, for 5.5 years, since the very first show when we did Entity Voices, when it was just us and Tony and Sheree Rathman, at the end of the show, I shouted out "Stay Haunted" at the end of the show.
Okay.
Well, it turned into our tagline, and then it became a Jerry Springer moment where I would come up with something at the end of the show that pertained to the show, and then I would say, "But always stay haunted."
Right.
So when Entity Voices ended, Audra and I like, okay, we're not done yet. Stay Haunted is still there. We need to create a podcast for Stay Haunted. And we had met Todd and Carmella. They'd come down to the house a few times, and we had become such good friends with them. It's like, who better to have on the show? So we started talking to them and said, hey, you guys want to do a podcast together? And that's how Stay Haunted was born.
That's awesome.
And here
That's
we are.
awesome. And
And
I'm
show-
the same way. Go ahead. What?
All right, Chris, show your tattoo. That's how devoted you are to the show. There you go.
Nice.
I
So,
got that in Gettysburg.
and as much as Chris and Audra, even if they decide they don't want us to co-host with them anymore, we're stuck because.
Oh, I love it! Yay!
So this was at Gettysburg this past bash. I went in and I was like, Chris, I want to get a Stay Haunted tattoo because we have 222, and then I have Stay Haunted, and then I was like, I want to get the tattoo. And Chris, so I just, how long, blah blah blah, and Chris was like, and the guy's like, you ready to go? And Chris was like, yeah, go in there. I was not, like, I was like ambushed. Chris was like, he's ready to
So-
go later.
For everybody watching, I have a few.
Yeah.
So I told Todd, I said, there's no bigger sign than when you walk into a tattoo parlor and the guy's ready to tattoo you the minute you walk in.
Yeah.
I said, you got to do it. That's just a sign. You've got to get it done. Sit down on the chair and let him put the needle to your skin. Do it.
Especially those guys, as they're busy all weekend.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I debated getting one, but I not that I cheated. I have tattoos, but I had to think about what I wanted, and I was like, what I want, and you know what, what's cool about Stay Haunted? Like, even if eventually years down the road, there's no more Stay Haunted can still be this generic cool thing. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what you guys did. It's to me, it's something that means something to you guys. You know what I mean? And I think that's awesome.
Well, and there's more to the meaning of Stay Haunted than just Stay Haunted. People say Stay Haunted, constantly be surrounded by ghosts. It's not. It's about para-unity. It's about getting out into the field and working with the people that you love and adore, right? Like we do, Todd and Carmella. It's about getting out and doing the research and actually putting boots to the ground to bring something to a podcast instead of just sitting here and talking about it, but not getting dirty, right? But it's also about love. It's about being united. It's about actually just staying in the paranormal group that we know, because I mean, we meet people like Taryn, right? And then we become good friends with Carmella and Todd. I mean, that is just the emphasis of Stay Haunted. It just doesn't mean keep ghosts around you. It means everything involved in the paranormal.
Yeah. And I agree with you. Like, when you think about when you grow up in school, when you're going to school and all through high school, it's like you had to find your cliques, right? Like you had to find people that you clicked with, and it was very tough. Mm-hmm. But I find that in the paranormal field, people are just automatically accepted. And then it doesn't matter what you look like, where you come from, how much money you have, initially. I mean, like, obviously things have changed a little bit in the paranormal field, but for the most part, you're automatically welcomed, and then you do find who you mesh with in a good way. You know what I mean? You find the people that you trust, and because like investigating, you have to trust the people that you're investigating with. You have to. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Big thing, right? So, but that's what I love about it is that, I mean, I've had an array of guests on from all walks of life, all parts of the world, and we all have the same thing in common, and we all have this one goal or one thing that just, keeps you going and keeps you wanting to keep on doing it, regardless of all the shit that goes behind you.
All the other BS going on.
You just stick with your people. Yes, my peaches. Exactly. My peaches. So, okay. Okay, we have a question, I believe. Oh, there is a dark side of the paranormal community, but I like the good people like yourselves. Yes.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you,
Thank you very much, Ben.
Thank you, Ben. There is. I mean, so let's talk a little bit about I don't know, the podcast of like who you've had on, who you have coming on, just and tell people like when it airs and stuff like that. And then I want to talk a little bit about some of the experiences you guys have had in some places, and either that be together or separate, your most memorable, investigations and that kind of stuff, But first, where can people find the podcast? When do you guys do it? Is it live? that kind of stuff.
So we have a Facebook page called Stay Haunted, but we go live to Stay Haunted Paranormal on YouTube.
Okay.
Every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. The show lasts approximately an hour unless we have a really good guest and we continue to go over. We've got Ron and Lourdes coming up soon. Sheboygan. We won't talk about Sheboygan. Sheboygan is not one that we want to keep on the website. I'm just kidding. Ron and Lourdes is coming up soon. We had Jeremy Lefevre from Beyond the Badge Paranormal on last night. We've got Taryn's coming up soon.
Yes, I'm going to be Stay Haunted.
We've got Jenny and Armando from 305 Paranormal out of Florida that's coming up on soon. So you can find us on our Stay Haunted Facebook page. You can find us on Stay Haunted Paranormal, all caps, on YouTube. If you put in just Stay Haunted, you get some weird group called Stay Haunted Live. That's not us. You'll notice the logo on here is the logo you'll see on our YouTube channel. And then we have Audra and I, our group out of North Carolina was called Southern Entities Paranormal, which we are going to be switching the name because we're not in the South anymore. And then
no longer Southern.
You can also see I also posted to our old Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence page, so you can see it there. The North American Peer Unification Initiative page, we posted to there, and then Todd throws it all over TikTok. This is such a great combination of the four of us because we still had our connections with UNX from our previous podcast. So we got UNX is our network. I already knew how to create the show. Well, I knew how to create the broadcast. So what ends up happening is I communicate with the guest. We both work, all four of us work at getting guests. And then I communicate with the guests. I set up the broadcast. I run it. Todd is the promo guy.
Yep.
He puts out the TikTok snippets. He puts out some really cool promos right before the show on Sundays or Saturdays or Thursdays, whenever he's not in Key West.
Right.
So it's like the four of us coming together was just the perfect recipe of Paranormal Brew.
That's awesome. Hey, I like it.
that.
And you know what? I like that you're talking about this side of it because people don't realize how much work a podcast is.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
It is so much work.
Yeah.
It is so much work.
Yeah.
And I mean, I appreciate the good podcasts like yours and the people that really, really work. I mean, I know you guys, so I didn't, dive into you guys a little bit. But if somebody comes to me and it's like, I want to be on your show and I don't know who they are, I gotta do some digging because I've had a doozy on and I had to learn the hard way, that I have to do my diligence. You know what I'm saying?
Sheboygan.
Sheboygan.
So I've had to, and so people
We'll
don't
tell you about the Sheboygan story after.
Yeah. Okay. I need to know what this is about for sure.
But it works because Stay Haunted is so you remember Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. We would bring on investigators from famous. We had Johnny Zaffis on the show. We had Taryn on the show, and then we had Andrea Perrone, and then we had people that were brand new investigators that were green. And well, I wasn't pointing at you guys.
I mean, we'll happily own that. We were green around the gills.
But the point of that show was to show the evidence that they had captured at locations that they had gone to. And it was an evidence-based show. So when we started Stay Haunted Paranormal, I told Todd and Carmella, I'm like, this is everything paranormal.
Right.
Yep.
A to Z.
Because to have a niche like that was hard because some people don't like to show their evidence. Some people have reviewed their evidence, but they don't know how to produce it for a show. So it was hard to schedule guests. So Stay Haunted is 100% anything paranormal, from people with abilities to people with stories to people with locations to people with other podcasts that do investigations. So we just have a realm of everything on the show.
Yeah. And when I first started out, it was just paranormal. It was just ghosties, if you will. I'm going to use that for lack of better description. It was just all about ghost stuff. Yeah. And it wasn't until, I was by myself and I was trying to keep this going because it was my passion and I loved it. Paranormal Brew is my baby, and I'm like, I need to branch out. I need to learn about other things. I wanted to learn about, and that's why I mostly bring my guests on, because I want to learn about Bigfoots. I want to learn about aliens. I want to learn about the locations that are on the West Coast. I want to learn about near-death experiences, like all of it. Even, I mean, I brought on people to talk about conspiracy theories, you know, JFK shooting and this and that, like anything not normal.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, even if I also had somebody on that was a satanic worshiper, right? And to learn about that, because it's not what I thought it was.
Right.
At all. You know, I only know what I see on TV or what I've seen in movies or what you hear, you know, and it's nothing at all what you think it is, you know, and even though I am not that, and I have a different belief system, I can't knock somebody for, you know, I'm not going to not hear and educate people, right? Like that's what one of the biggest things that you wish to do with your podcast is to get the education out there for people that don't know things, you know. So
to educate people, and then also be educated ourselves, because
absolutely
we don't know everything. So
absolutely,
we've learned a lot from Chris and Audra. Heck, I mean, we've learned a lot from you. I mean, heck, I know you're an EVP, you know, guru, and I sent you an EVP from Gettysburg on your favorite little stone at Little Round Top, and I had sent you, and I was like, "What do you hear here?" Because we were Carmella and I were there. It was after last year's bash, and we had stayed an extra day, and it was like, "Are you scared? You know, were you afraid?" And then it was like, "Yeah," but then you picked up on the and then the no on the second part of it.
Yes, that was incredible. I love that. See, I love EVPs are my favorite. Disembodied voices and EVPs. How does anybody argue, or how can you argue with, like, how
same, love it.
You know, I mean, especially when you get intelligent responses.
Right. Well, everybody chases that golden goose. Let me catch the picture of the apparition.
Right. Sure.
I've been doing it for almost 30 years. You know how many of those I've caught? One.
Me too. One.
You know how many EVPs I've captured?
Oh my gosh.
Woo.
What about the one in the Ritz?
The Ritz.
The Ritz.
The picture.
Oh yeah. We had the Polaroid. I mean, Carmella, we had the good
thing
one.
Came closer and closer and closer to me, and then it was sitting next to me.
Segue into experiences and stuff.
It's near me. Here it comes. Are you taking pictures? That's what I kept saying back there.
I took the Polaroid, and we had Chris, and this was when we were guest on the EVP.
And I have an EVP. I said, "Are you here?" And he said, "Yeah." And then you see the.
I think Little Round. I think it's like I love the ones like. So I was at Little Round Top by myself one time, and I wish I could find this because it's one of my favorites. I know I have it. It's probably on my hard drive somewhere, like my external hard drive. But you know, I'm sitting there, I'm all by myself, and I'm at the 20th Main Monument, and you know, I'm like, I think me and Joshua Chamberlain were together in a past life. Like that's my boy. Like I absolutely love Joshua Chamberlain. Like I'm so connected with that spot on the battlefield for some reason. I don't know why, but anyway. So I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking globally, not I'm at the 20th Main Monument. You know, I'm thinking. So I'm like, "Are you from Pennsylvania?" And on the recorder here, no, Maine. Now I'm thinking if I would have said, "Are you from Maine?" and all you hear is "Yeah,"
right.
Anybody could argue, "Oh, that's wind or jacket or something like that," right? But thankfully, I was not, you know, I wasn't thinking Maine. I was thinking, "Are you from Pennsylvania?" Right? Thankfully. And you hear, "No, Maine." And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, it just sucks that I didn't hear it with my ear, because then I could have been like, okay, what do you need? You know, you want to be able to have the, you know, like, hi, like, what is your name? You know, but you don't, you know, you know, on a lot of times you don't hear with your ear. I don't know if any of you guys can hear disembodied voices and phantom noises, but yeah. I mean, it's the best.
In Tala, I did.
In where?
Tala, Trans-Allegheny.
Oh, I haven't been there yet. Me and the P just keep talking about we want to go there.
It's so much fun. I love it there, but I feel like I belong in an insane asylum.
Love Tyler.
I actually do very well in the asylums, like with EVPs and disembodied voices, and capture, like having personal experience and stuff like that. Like I do very well in those types of environments. I don't know why, but I do.
So if you ever make it to Tala, you'll have to let us know when you go on the women's floor, the criminally insane floor,
They didn't like me.
if they like you or dislike you, Tara.
They don't.
Okay.
They did
Because
not
They
like me.
they
females.
did not like
No. Mm-mm.
me and Frankie. Yeah, they loved us. Me and him.
Yeah, they love the men for some reason. They don't
They
like
loved
the
the
females.
men.
Nope.
Carmella, she was walking down the hallway. We had cat balls, and then we had the REM pod.
Frankie was by himself,
Yeah.
and Frankie's like, "There's something down here. Come down here." I'm like, "Okay, but I don't know about this." And I was walking, and the cat balls went off, the box went off, everything went
Music
off, and
box.
I couldn't move any further. I'm like, I can't move any further.
She was like, "Nope, I can't go any further." Turned
No.
around, the dead bell went off, and then she walked back. She's like, "Yeah, no, I'm
nope,
done."
not happening. Good luck, Frankie. Just run.
Wow.
If you ever get a chance to get back to North Carolina, in Hamptonville, North Carolina, there's a place way out in the middle of nowhere called the Trivet Clinic.
Mm.
Look it up. Look up the history of it. But what was awesome
Very
is
cool.
Audra and I were there with Carrie Hopper from History of a Haunting podcast, and we were doing an investigation there. And at one time, it was a convalescent home for older people. And there's a room over in the corner at the top of the stairs where an elderly lady named Irma, where she sensed in there. And I was standing outside, and they were asking her questions, and I just kept laughing. And they're like, "What are you laughing at?" And I said, "I keep hearing her say, like, she has dementia. And I keep hearing her say, 'This is my room, my room, my room.'" And they're like, "Are you really hearing that?" I'm just telling you what I'm hearing, what I'm picking up. I'm hearing it. I have an EVP of an elderly woman saying "my room."
That's awesome.
So
I love that.
yeah, that's a great place. There's a ton of
Yeah.
spirits in that location. It's a phenomenal investigation.
Another good place is Rolling Hills Asylum. Like,
Oh.
I'm telling you that's in New York. If you guys ever get a chance, I'm telling you, it was amazing. It was incredible the last time we were there. It was incredible the first time I ever went. From psych screams, I heard kids singing "London Bridge is Falling Down." Like,
Wow.
God.
Creepy.
yeah, the last time we were there, the Peaches were there. We thought people were outside walking around because we were hearing people talking, and we were so mad. We were like, "What the heck?"
You're like pissed off. You're like, "What the frick?"
They're
We're
ruining
trying
it.
to investigate. We're trying to do this, try that. And so we eventually go up to Sharon, and we're like, "Who's outside?" And she's like, there's no sidewalks. People can't walk around. There's nobody out there." And she has her strict rules. You know what I mean? Like, so
Right.
nobody's allowed on that property unless she knows they're coming. You know, she's like, nobody's been outside. And we're like, this whole time we're like, instead of like exploring the EVP aspect of it, you hear us you could hear it, and you could hear us on the recorders going, "Oh my gosh!" And we're going to the windows trying to see where the people are at and everything. And
So
here
you
it's like,
pick it up on the recorders.
yeah,
So it was
Okay.
disembodied.
yes. And we all were hearing it, and we were looking for them. We were like going to all the windows, and like at one point we thought she had told us that after our time, the maintenance guy was coming, and right before the timing was, we thought we heard a big truck pull up, and like we were gravel outside, where all this ruckus. Nobody was there. It was just her sitting upstairs waiting. Yeah, I'm telling you, the place is incredible. Like, it's incredible. I can't explain it. And we have all that on record because I'm a recorder. The girls like to do bursts. I like to play my record. I like to record the entire time, so I capture everything.
Chris, too.
Which I think is
How many red buckets you got, Chris?
I have 8 red buckets. Taryn's confused.
yeah, red buckets.
Yeah, what's this red bucket thing?
So, what color are your recorders?
All black.
What
Correct.
color is your cameras?
Black.
Now try and find those suckers at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning in Tala
Yeah.
Or any dark location.
or any dark
Oh,
location.
I
With
feel you.
everybody else's black recorders.
So what I did is I bought this human-sized
Beer pong.
beer pong thing off of Amazon. It's all red buckets. And so when Audra and I go to a location, she carries her EMF detector and she records with a video.
My phone.
Okay.
We pre-walk the location. Sometimes I do it by myself. And where I sense and pick up energy, we place our recorders and our cameras in those spots.
Gotcha.
It's not always the hot spots. It's not always where they get the most activity. Sometimes it's just in weird spots that you never pick up anything. And we get great evidence. The problem is that black recorder finding it at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when it's pitch black. So I take my buckets and I place them. I sit my bucket down, and that's where I place my equipment. I know how many buckets I have. I know how many I left out. I know how many pieces of equipment that I have on top of those buckets. And the best part is when you're investigating with other people, they know where your equipment is too.
Amazing. I just learned something. If you were to ask anybody that I've investigated with, I'm always like, where are my recorders? Where are my recorders? I can't find them. I have ADHD on top of having black recorders in dark locations. So I forget where I put these recorders all the time. So now I know I learned something, and it's so simple, but brilliant.
Yeah.
Right? Why? I mean, how easy is that? My nights are going to be so much better now.
Well, the best part is when other investigators come through, because we don't carry our equipment, we place it.
Right.
They see the red bucket, or I also have red plastic plates in case I put out everything. But they see my red symbols where my equipment. They can tag.
Sorry, that's like
They can
hi.
It's a puppy dog.
I'm just kidding. They can tag themselves.
Hi,
So
baby.
back in the review, I know that something about it.
It's
Right.
TJ.
Stop.
And some of the teams that like PPIT that we would be with quite a bit when we were in North Carolina, and they knew, so they'd come around the corner like, PPIT, this is so and so, Chris's red bucket, and they'd kind of keep walking. So that's not a spirit footsteps or something else. They're
Right. Oh yeah, that's great. That's a great idea.
Unless you investigate with Ron Iacovetti, when he sees the red bucket, he goes up and whispers into the
He
digital
does.
recorder.
Or with Chris and Audra and Ryan, whoever else, when we're on investigation, we've had the occasional, hello, the little face in the camera and stuff like that.
That's fun. I mean, at least you guys know, right? And you guys are having fun.
Oh
with it,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Really quick, Todd, you said something about 222.
Yep. So 222 is that's just our, since we've been together, 222 PIR, Paranormal Investigation Research. We were just looking for, when we first started, to put somewhere. So, that's, and the 222 has always been our life. Her birthday's August 2nd. My favorite number growing up, it was always 20, like twos, 22, 20, anything with twos. And then we were like, all right, we're going to get tattoos. This was our first tattoos. And we were like, instead of doing our names, that we do this. So when we're walking hand in hand behind us, you see our hands interlocked, but then it's 222s next to each other when we're holding our hands.
Is that when you stopped holding my hand?
No. But yeah, so, and that was just a spot for us to, a name that we just kind of came up with.
We'll love twos forever.
Yeah, we love twos forever, basically.
That's awesome.
Yep.
A glow stick next to the recorders help as well.
I was just going to say that. Frankie does that too.
Yeah.
Frankie puts the glow sticks down.
Yeah.
Big Ben also said something earlier. I just want to, when we were talking about apparitions. Mm-hmm. Apparitions are hard to get. However, I have a picture sent to me from my mate. The pic was from his grandma's security camera, and it shows a very clear and detailed apparition of his grandpa, which
That's awesome.
Seen that before too.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would. My guest that I had on last week, he's working on something he calls it Project Apparition Hall.
Yep.
The picture he's got, like he
lasers and smoke.
Right.
Lasers and smoke. And he showed me, now his brother who was doing this with him committed
away. Right.
Took his own life. And he continued to do this and follow through with this. And he actually he showed me a picture of the apparition he caught, and then showed me a picture of his brother. And it was literally his brother. There was no mistaking this apparition as his brother. Like he always wore a white lab coat. The apparition had a white lab coat on. Everything. I was like, if this is fake, I'm gonna hate you forever, because this is so good.
I'm gonna hurt you.
It was so good, and I believe him. I mean, he's very, he's not, he's not a liar or anything like that. So,
Right.
it was really, really cool. So apparitions are very hard to capture. I mean, people all the time are like, oh, I caught this, I caught that, I caught this, I caught that. I'm like, okay, I'm sure you have one that's probably good. You know what I mean? But, I have one apparition that's allegedly believed to be an apparition. Okay. We can't say for sure 100%.
Right.
Yeah. And I have a one missed, like a missed photo. Allegedly a missed photo. Gonna throw that out there. So
that would be similar to what we caught on the Polaroid. We caught it on the Polaroid at the Ritz Theater, where Frankie from the Parasite Project that we investigate with, down in Haddon Township.
That's like 10 minutes.
Haddonfield or whatever, yeah. And Carmella was sensing stuff, and then I was like, I had the Polaroid, and I was like, click, 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 as quick as I could without really trying to move. And we showed Chris when we were on EVPI or whatever, and it started here, and then it progressed. Each picture it moved over, and then it was literally right next to Carmella.
Wow.
And
That's
Christine, and we've learned a lot as far as evidence review and analyzing and stuff like that. And Chris is an expert on Polaroid pictures.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say, do you prefer Polaroid?
I mean,
We bring it with us.
we bring it with us. I mean, Polaroid film is not the cheapest, so we don't use it all the time, but we'll break it out from time to time. And honestly, from the the handful of times that we've used it, that's really the only. I think that's the only time that we've really ever captured something.
See, I love the old school stuff.
Oh well, I'm saying on the
I
Polaroid.
love the old school stuff.
Yeah.
I want to get a tape recorder. I want to get a Polaroid. I want to get some old school stuff in there because, I use a full spectrum camera. You know what I mean, which is cool. You know what I mean, and I like it. But for the longest time, because pictures they're just so hard. I have millions of pictures. One apparition photo. It became like more of a nuisance to carry on because I'm like, am I really gonna catch anything? You know what I mean? So I just recently started using my full spectrum camera again because I'm like, let me just get another, I mean, it's picture. Oh shit, I'm gonna spill my water. But so I like that you guys are using the Polaroids, and you know what I mean. Like I like the older. I want to start to incorporate the older like not even just people use it for equipment, but older stuff to try to use.
Well, the newer cameras are kind of harder because they don't develop as well as the old Polaroid pictures.
Yeah.
So it's like different. It's just different. It's like darker, grainier. I don't know.
Oh, really?
And so we bought a newer version of the Polaroid, and it just didn't.
And we sent it back. And it broke, I think, didn't it?
Yeah.
Something happened to it. It broke.
It's like houses. They don't make them like they used to.
Yeah.
They don't.
That's right.
Right.
The hard thing about Polaroids is back a while ago when I was investigating a long time ago before Audra, there was a lot of people showing Polaroid evidence. So it was like, wow, this is intriguing. So I started digging into what causes flaws in Polaroids, and I started researching it and roller marks and different types of batches and lots and how it exposes depending on light and how the different chemicals in the newer ones compared to the older ones can be false apparitions. So I read and read and read and read and read. So when these guys went, hey, can you look at this? And I'm like, yeah. So I started picking apart the photo going, hey, wait, no, this can't be this. This can't be this. Can't be this. This is a flipping apparition. There's nothing in here that physically debunks it from a Polaroid exposure.
Right.
So
that's what Big Ben's saying. He's like, honestly, you can't beat a Polaroid. Those pics are hard to manipulate and alter. So what you capture is real in that moment.
Right.
And once you can eliminate all the flaws that they stated in the Polaroids, if you've researched it and understand how they work, once you've eliminated all that, there's no other option. It's paranormal, right?
Right.
Because you've eliminated all the flaws and all the details from the camera developing the chemicals and how it develops in the lighting that you developed it in, which doesn't matter as much as anymore. That's why it comes out grainier.
Right.
Because the
Right.
chemicals that they use now, so you don't need as much light to expose it. Remember
Right.
how you had to sit it under a lamp back in the old
Right.
days
Yeah.
to get it to expose?
Wave
You don't have to
it
do that
around.
anymore, but the chemical composition they use nowadays makes it a little bit more grainier, which makes it
Yeah.
harder to determine. So
Right.
Which stinks. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here and listening to us, right? And I'm thinking, like, when I first started out, like, I remember how I got into it was I had an experience in Gettysburg, right? I went to Gettysburg grudgingly with my mother. Like, I was like, "What's in Gettysburg? Oh my god!" And she was like, "I want to go. I want to go." I'm like, "Fine." Now, like, I want to move there. I love it there so much. But she wanted to go on a ghost hunt. Now, at this time, I was like, I was intrigued by paranormal stuff, but I wanted nothing to do with it. You know, so she wanted to go on a ghost hunt. Anyways, I had my first experience there. So after that, I started amateurly doing I got even more into the paranormal. I remember developing my pictures and staring at them for hours, and I thought every picture had a ghost in it. Like, it was like, oh, there's a ghost there. Oh my god, there's a ghost there. And this was like when orbs were still, thought to be, paranormal. And I'm sitting here thinking to us talking. I'm like, wow, I've learned so much. We've come such a long way. The field definitely has come a long way from when I started. You know what I mean? As far as, where equipment is and how educated people have gotten and intelligent, and the people that actually get into the field, there's police officers and doctors and, military and, people that are trained, trained investigators, for, and I just think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. And I love listening to you guys talk because you guys are level-headed. We do it this way, we do it that way, and it's not like everything's a ghost.
Yeah.
Everything's paranormal.
So I got you brought up my favorite subject that I know is a hot topic, Mr. Orb, Mr. and Mrs. Orb. So, I mean, on the full spectrum cameras, our experiences has never been a still photo. It's always been a full spectrum camera where we've caught a handful of times of an anomaly, aka an orb, that it one time is at Gettysburg in the Union Hotel. Like the shit was this. Don't
get me wrong. I believe that you can capture, but I don't think it's.
Audra had an orb at the Montgomery house that pulsated.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see that?
I've seen the balls of light.
Yeah. I'm curious. I want people to, I want to share, and I want to find like an expert. Like I've read the book from Bobby Gallo suggested, because there was the two NASA, scientists that did it was called the Orb Project, and it was very good. And a short story about the orbs is, listen, the reason when we see them is they come into our field of view they can possibly create their own fluorescence. So that's what allows them to kind of pulsate and flash and stuff like that. So that, the long story short, that was a great book that Bobby recommended, because I was, I know not everything is, and I'm not saying it's a spirit of a loved one or anything like that.
Right.
It's paranormal. It's interesting. It's like,
I have one picture that's questionably, I can send it to you guys. It's questionably, it was at a place called Columnsill. This is in Pennsylvania. And, I heard, the thing that got me about it was I heard a whisper. And as I heard the whisper, now this was with a digital camera. It wasn't with my cell phone or anything. I turned, I took a picture, and there's this bright light, ball of light right there. This was during the day. It was not sunny out, so it wasn't like, the sun, it's
or whatever.
It was right in front of me. But I'll send it to you guys. Look at it. But yeah, that's really the only three pictures I've ever captured that I think are off and odd and weird. You know what I mean? Like, in all my years, when I look back at my old pictures of Gettysburg, sometimes I really do think that there's this one picture where it looks like there's soldiers behind a rock. And I'm like, no, I think I just convinced myself back then that that's what that was. So now,
Well, the one time we were driving through Gettysburg the one time, and she's like, "Oh, look at the soldier out in the field," and I'm like,
"They're having a reenactment.
They're having their reenactment.
Great, look at them all." And he's like, and I looked at him, he's like, "What?"
I'm like,
"What is it?" And I'm like, "They're having a okay, they're not." They're
The
not
same
happy.
thing happened with my mom. My mom was the one who was into the paranormal. She wanted to see a ghost so bad, and she wanted.
Oh,
And we're driving. We're going to our hotel. We stayed at Doubleday Inn, which at that time was the only inn in the park where you could stay. Right? It was a little bed and breakfast. And we're turning down Reynolds Ave or Doubleday Ave, and we're going. And she goes, "What are all those rangers doing in the field?" And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "There's all those. What are those rangers doing? Like, there's so many of them." And then all of a sudden, she literally like jumped out of the seat. Her head hit the top of the car. Yeah. She's like, "Did you just see those Confederate soldiers? They were like almost walked into your car." And I'm like, "What?" I looked in the rear view and I'm like, "I don't see anything." Turned around. I had my lights go across the field. There's nothing. And those fields are big. So if somebody's walking, you're going to see somebody walking.
I'm gonna get away that fast. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So yeah, she saw the same thing. I unfortunately didn't. I'm very mad about that. But
I didn't see it either, Tara.
I just went, okay, never mind. Just keep going. It's nothing.
wow, that's pretty cool. I like hearing Gettysburg stories, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love Gettysburg. Uh-oh.
What?
Why is it saying my live is ended?
Oh, I don't
Oh,
know.
I don't
No,
know.
it's still running.
It's still going.
It's live.
I says live. It still says going.
Still going on YouTube.
Is it?
Yep.
Look.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't know.
Nope.
Still there.
YouTube's still
Still
there.
here. Still there. YouTube's
Facebook.
still cranking.
I hate Facebook anymore.
I know.
I think it's Facebook. I think Facebook cut
It's
me.
probably
Oh,
Facebook.
it probably was.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have a hard time with Facebook.
I just saw myself wave. We're still live on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. You're
Well,
sure
that
you're
stinks. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're
worries.
good.
I just can't believe it cut off like that. It's never done that before.
Facebook started limiting their lives.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I'm so done.
Stupid Facebook.
Ugh.
Facebook.
Facebook.
Well, we can keep going if you guys want to go. We're only on YouTube now, which is but
That happens to us a lot too.
It happens
We're
to us.
here. You tell us.
I didn't know that happens now. I had no idea.
Well, and then in any live, say like you have a Facebook, like our Stay Haunted Facebook page.
Yeah.
Our lives go to the Stay Haunted Facebook page. After 25, 28 days, Facebook kicks that one off.
Delete some now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that. And then also with my personal, so I try to go live. I tried to go live on my personal page too. So there's 3 channels I stream to: my YouTube page, and my Paranormal Brew Facebook page, and my personal page. And I used to be able to, before the show started, I used to be able to go to my personal page, and because it always made it private, the live. And I would be able to go and edit it and make it public so people could either watch from my personal page or from Paranormal Brew's page. I can't change it to public anymore until the show's over.
Right.
Oh,
That's because they only allow that stuff to go to a business page on Facebook now.
So stupid.
Yep. That's why we have everything we post to our Facebook pages connection directly to our YouTube page.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't. Facebook is.
Facebook being challenging.
They also started to stop. Like I can only share to like 10 groups, and then it stops me from sharing to groups. I used to share to 50 groups for my show,
Yep.
Right.
and I can only share to like 10 groups now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Or you do it, you remember the 10 that you shared it to, and then you go back in and then you share
it's
it.
like it's like a time thing. Like they make then the next time I do it, they only let me share to 3, and then I have to wait like 18 hours before I can share again. And I'm like,
That's annoying.
yeah. I'm like, I've been doing this 8 years. Like, there's nothing different. I'm not a robot. I'm not a computer. I'm not a spam.
But if you were paying them, that'd be a whole different
That'd
story.
be a whole other
Yeah,
story.
no, I'm not giving them any money. I hate them.
right.
No, thank you.
All right. So before I let you guys go, one more time, just tell everybody where they can find you guys and when your show goes on and all that.
I'll let you do this one, Todd.
So for Stay Haunted, we are on YouTube, Stay Haunted Paranormal, right? Or is it podcast, Chris?
No, Stay Haunted Paranormal.
Stay
All
Haunted Paranormal, all caps, on YouTube, and Stay Haunted Facebook page. And then we have our own 222 PIR on Instagram and TikTok. And that's just, where I have all of our, share a lot of our, experiences and findings that we've had on investigations and stuff like that. And I want people to comment and watch, but people are like, swipe. It's hard, and I honestly, because it's about education, I'm putting it out there to be educated. I want feedback we want feedback from people and stuff.
It's tough.
And then, you can catch us live on Monday nights, like Chris said earlier, on our YouTube channel. We'll put the post out on our Facebook page and with the link to the channel. Please like, share, subscribe. That's one thing we never do, Chris. We never
do that.
We never say that.
Yeah.
Please.
So let me explain to everybody
I
why.
don't either.
We don't get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We enjoy having you as an audience, and we will show up every week, and we will try and entertain you as much as possible. But we don't get paid. This is our passion. This is what we do because we love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat.
And
I made shirts one year. Somebody was like, "You should make Paranormal Brew shirts," and I'm like, and sell them. I'm like, okay, great idea. I made like 100 shirts. I gave them all away. I didn't sell one shirt.
Here, have a shirt. Have a shirt. You get a shirt. You get a shirt. You get a shirt.
You're like, oh, can I get a Paranormal Brew shirt? Yeah. I mean, I even like shipped them to people. And like I did, they're like, "You want me to pay you for shipping?" I'm like, "No, I got it." I'm like,
Just take them.
Yeah, same thing happened to me. Everybody's like, "I love your Stay Haunted hat. I'd buy one of those." And the minute I ordered a couple, people are like, "I get that for free, right? And you're going to sign it too, right?"
I will buy one because I do like it. So I'll buy. I love that. So
I'm not going to charge you, Taryn.
No, I definitely see. But this is what happens, right? I'm not going to charge you.
Right?
I will. I'll support you guys, please.
All I ask is that if I send you a hat, you take a picture of you and Rob wearing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Deal.
Congratulations, by the way,
I know.
everybody that's
Yeah.
watching.
Thank you so much.
Terry just got married.
Yes, I just got married. It was really awesome. I'm
Congrats.
still. I like as today on my lunch break, I was looking at the videos and the pictures, and I'm like, "Thanks, that's so great." I was like, I'm still like on cloud 20.
Now, we know the saying, "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas," but you can tell us after off air.
Yeah.
Not with Taryn. She posted pictures and videos of everything.
I know.
Oh yeah. I'm a sharer. Everybody knows it. My family's always like, "Don't put this up until blah blah blah. Don't put this." No. I'm like, fine, okay. Like everybody's got to tell me.
So one question, and you can answer or not. I just want to know, how wild was Kyle and Christina?
Oh my gosh, they're great. They are great.
They're awesome people.
Christina, every time I hang out with her, she literally surprises me every time we hang out. Like there's always this something that she reveals about herself where I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Never thought that.
I'm like, you? Like one day she's like, "Rob, do you have a cigar?" I'm like, "What?"
That's me.
Sits there, smokes her cigar, and she's like, she only drinks like hard liquor. Like I'm like, what? Like on the rocks?
Ooh, that.
I'm like, whoa.
Cigars and drink with them.
Oh yeah. She's great. I love her. She's surprised. Like Rob's like, "You and Kyle can go talk about ghosts. Me and Christina are gonna go have some whiskey and smoke cigars." I'm like, okay.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
That is awesome. I couldn't imagine Christine like that. That's funny.
Hey,
Yeah, no, it's great. She's so great. Oh my god.
And I got to ask, because we did Vegas and we went there. How was the damn tour? Did you take all the damn pictures that you took, that you'd like, all that fun stuff?
We didn't do like the tour into the meats and the guts of it. We just did like our own self-guided tour.
Right.
It was phenomenal. Like I thought
Amazing.
it was
It's amazing.
It was amazing. And I just couldn't believe, I can't believe you can't imagine how big it is. Like we even like when we first were walking out, like Lauren's like saying to me, she's like, "I guess the best place if you were gonna fall, you'd fall over there because you could roll down." I'm like, "Nuh-uh." I'm like, "Look how
slide down, right?
No, you pick up
down.
way down.
Oh yeah, it's steep. Like you're straight down."
So
I'm like,
How tall are you, Taryn?
5'3".
So by the time your feet hit at the bottom, you'd probably be like 5 inches, 5 inches.
Oh, that would just be a
Right.
splatter.
Small
I'd be a
5
little
inches.
splatter.
So let me teach you something about Chris. You went to the dam. Was that your first time there?
Yes.
I used to drive a semi across that dam.
Oh no. Rob was
Back
like,
in
"Do you
the
want us
day.
to drive over that bridge?" I'm like, "No."
I used to come down because they didn't have the bypass
Nope,
bridge.
Nope.
So I used to come down the one side in a semi and go up the biggest
Oh,
side in the
no.
semi.
You did that.
Yes.
Not in the semi, but in
I'm
a
afraid of
car.
heights. So like, when they do that bridge that they have made,
Yeah,
it's like,
the
"Oh, you
overpass.
want to drive over that?" I'm like, oh, "No, no way." We
Yeah.
went to the Grand Canyon as well,
Okay.
and we went to
And
the
they're-
west side where they have that skywalk.
Oh, yeah.
And when the doors opened, I was like, "Oh, wait a minute! I don't know if I can do this." and the lady's like, "Well, just so you know, this is built to hold 3 747s." I was like, "Prove it. Where did you do this? Where was this?
Yeah,
Where
I
was
can
this
fit them
done?
fuckers on here.
Where do we see it?"
Right?
Yeah, right. Where are
I
they?
was so scared. I was literally crawling out those. I was so afraid.
That's hysterical.
Oh,
That's
but
funny.
it was cool.
I can
But
imagine.
But I did it. But I
That's
did
all
it.
that matters.
And Rob got me a shirt that's like the Skywalk. I did it. I
Nice.
was like, "I could do it."
This guy
All
crawl.
that matters.
Yeah, it was scroll. Yeah. Thank you guys for coming on. Hey, Dan.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having us.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Great little
Please,
discussion.
guys,
Good
everybody
chat.
that's still watching, I know we're not on Facebook anymore. Sorry about that. But everybody that's still watching, please share the show out, not for me or Paranormal Brew, but for Stay Haunted, for these awesome guys here.
Yeah, I know.
Get the word out about them. Go follow, like, and subscribe to their pages. Good people. Highly recommend. They're awesome people to follow. So just go
Thank you.
do that.
And you're not so
Yeah.
bad yourself, Taryn. Now.
Yeah, you have to mind yourself, David.
I try.
Thank you very much
that,
for joining in.
We're going to sign off. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And until next time, sweet dreams, everybody.
And stay haunted.
Stay on it.
Haunted.
Good
Good
I
night.
love it. I love it.